So, hi everyone, I am Carlson Francis, and today I will be giving all of you a very simple crash course regarding energy. So, basically, what is energy? So, energy is basically the capacity to do work and make changes. Also, the amount of work done by an object. I'm sure you've heard this sentence before in your secondary school science class back then. So, let us move on to the types of energy. So we all know there are only two types of energy, which are kinetic and potential. So kinetic energy is basically the energy of moving objects, which includes electrical, thermal, and motion energy. Then we have potential energy. Potential energy is basically an energy stored inside an object and will be released once it is reached full capacity. So the types of potential energy includes gravitational, chemical, and nuclear energy. Then moving on, we have forms of energy. Now, there are also two forms of energy. So renewable and non-renewable energy. So renewable energy means the source of energy can be renewed, can be replaced, and it has a very long span of usage, the time period of usage. While non-renewable energy, source of energy, is basically the opposite of renewable energy. It cannot be replaced, it cannot be reused, it cannot be reproduced. So once it's done, it's done. You cannot reuse it anymore. So for the examples of renewable energy include biomass, wind, tidal, and hydraulics. And then non-renewable energy, of course, the common ones are fossil fuels and nuclear power. Now, there have been arguments about the most suitable alternate resource of energy for the future. Some said it comes from solar panels, some said it comes from wind turbines, others also suggest that hydropower or dams could be the perfect alternate resource of energy for the future. Now, for me, I personally choose solar energy. Why? Number one, it is widely used in small or large scale consumption. It can be used on personal homes or for industrial factories. So, back then, I believe solar energy is mainly associated with industrial factories or non personal usages. But now, as you can see, there are a lot of homes where it can be seen that there are solar panels installed on the roofs of their homes. Yeah. And then the second one we have, it drastically reduces or eliminates our utility bills. So by using solar energy, it means that we are less reliant on electrical utility, and it also decreases our monthly energy bills. So did you know that solar panels typically last up to 30 years, which means you can have large savings in electrical utility per year. Also, solar panels or solar energy reduces carbon emissions. It does not release CO2 or carbon dioxide gas and other greenhouse gas due to the combustion of fossil fuels to generate electricity. And most importantly, there are possibilities of gaining profits through solar energy. Yep, it sounds ridiculous, I know, but in Malaysia, the net metering and peer-to-peer scheme, P2P in Malaysia, allows solar panel users to actually sell extra renewable energy back to electrical companies. So basically, you are what I would say as a solar energy farmer, which means that you produce solar energy, you sell it to electrical companies, and you gain profit. How is that not beneficial to us? Currently, we have a world energy application scenario where it is expected that 20% of electricity generated would come from wind power by 2030, and this is reported by the American Wind Energy Association and DOE's National Renewable Energy Laboratory. So this includes the assessment of wind resource base, materials and manufacturing requirements, and also environmental and setting issues. So what does this affect? This means that more than 300 gigawatts of new wind power capacity would be needed to meet a goal of 20% market penetration by wind, which means that as much as 300 gigawatts of energy required to be produced by wind power or wind turbines to penetrate or to meet a standard or baseline of 20% for market in wind energy or wind turbines. So the 300 gigawatts of energy can be split into 250 gigawatts of energy, electrical energy installed onshore, which means on land, and 50 gigawatts installed offshore, which means could be used on oil rigs or other utilities offshore. And this would eventually contribute up to 43 billion US dollars per year just for meeting up the requirements of 20% in terms of energy production by wind turbines. So I guess that's all from me. Thank you.